What happened to the USS Harry S. Truman carrier strike group? What's the story behind the crash of two F-18 Hornets? Why has the U.S. lost two of its top fighter jets in less than 5 months in confrontations with the Yemenis? Let's investigate. As you know, the Nimitz-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman has long been engaged in highly intensive, round-the-clock military operations against the Yemenis. Undoubtedly, there's immense pressure on the sailors and officers aboard the carrier, and human error can occur. This carrier has lost two F-18 jets. The latest incident occurred just a few days ago when an F-18 and the tow tractor moving it fell into the sea. Hello, and greetings to all you dear friends, and I'm glad you're following us. So, this large carrier is engaged in combat with the Yemenis. The Yemenis fire missiles and launch drones towards the carrier. When a missile is fired towards the carrier, apart from its close-in weapon systems, CIWS, and escorting destroyers, the carrier accelerates and makes sudden course changes to evade impact, based on calculations of the missile's speed and projected impact point. In this tactic, the ship executes a series of 30 to 40-degree turns, each lasting about 30 seconds. Each turn causes the ship to list inward by approximately 10 to 15 degrees. Interestingly, a few months ago, this very same carrier, the Harry S. Truman, collided with a commercial vessel off the coast of Egypt. Although the damage was minor, it led to the dismissal of the carrier's captain. Despite all these misfortunes and incidents, which are somewhat embarrassing, no sailors were injured or killed. However, the fact remains that the United States has lost two $60 million fighter jets very easily. The story behind the loss of the first F-18 is that a warship, the USS Gettysburg, mistakenly identified an F-18 en route to its destination as a suicide drone and shot it down, causing it to sink. Some of these incidents and mistakes are attributable to the Yemenis, and some to human error stemming from operational pressure and fatigue. These few incidents I've mentioned indicate failures in command and battle management at sea. Let's delve a bit deeper and see what the root cause of these incidents is. For over 16 months, the United States and several other countries have been engaged in intense combat operations, particularly over the Red Sea. During this period, the U.S. has also lost 6 MQ-9 Reaper drones to the Yemenis. Of course, these 6 drones are not a large number compared to the hundreds of Yemeni attacks that have been intercepted and neutralized. In these 16 months, it's been reported that more than 30 commercial ships have been damaged by the Yemenis. They have hijacked 2 ships, and at least a few commercial vessels have been sunk. This region has truly become a hotspot. That's why the U.S. has deployed its Navy to this region to maintain the security of these vital shipping lanes. Now, do you know where the root of all these tensions in the Middle East, which have spilled over into the Red Sea, began? Yes, friends. It began on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched its deadliest attack in history against Israel. According to reports, 1,200 Israelis were killed, including 815 civilians, and more than 250 were taken hostage. In response, Israel launched an extremely fierce and full-scale campaign against Hamas in Gaza. The plan was essentially to come in and eradicate Hamas and other militant groups. Many critics believe that for the Israelis, it made little difference whether armed groups or civilians were in their path. So much so that the death toll from Israel's assault on Gaza reached 50,000 by March of the following year, e.g. March 2024. Palestinian authorities announced that, unfortunately, approximately 15,000 children were among the victims. I'm mentioning this so you understand what the conflict in the Red Sea is about, why armed groups like the Yemenis are involved, and why they have become so agitated. The Yemenis attack almost any ship passing through here, whether it belongs to Israel or any other country. This is a critically important shipping lane located between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This means about 12 to 15% of total global trade passes through here, and approximately 1/3 of all container ship traffic transits this region. In that same year, 2023, a U.S.-led coalition of 20 other countries was formed to secure this waterway. Interestingly, news has leaked that the Yemenis are guiding their missiles and receiving attack coordinates with the help of Chinese satellites. It's even said that Russia has supplied significant military equipment to the Yemenis to enable them to confront the U.S. Many experts say that these Yemeni attacks, declared to be in support of Palestinians, are not solely for that purpose. At least that's part of it. Another part is a more complex strategy to confront the Americans. Well, the crash of the second F-18 Hornet occurred when the USS Harry S. Truman was making sudden maneuvers and course changes to avoid a presumed incoming projectile, and at that moment, an F-18 being moved on deck fell into the water. Interestingly, a sailor was inside the fighter's cockpit but managed to exit quickly. But an important question arises. Can't the carrier protect itself? Doesn't it have defense systems? Look, friends, despite all the advanced defense systems and escorting destroyers, intercepting a high-speed incoming missile is never guaranteed or precise. The USS Harry S. Truman accounts for a small probability that its defense systems might fail to properly intercept and destroy a missile. That's why they don't take chances and constantly change their position. The USS Harry S. Truman has been conducting combat operations in the Red Sea for over a year, and these operations are extremely intense. It has expended hundreds of millions of dollars on munitions and weapons. It's said the figures for these expenses, from drones to missiles, are so high that you would be truly shocked if you knew them. Moreover, when Mr. Donald Trump was president, he also ordered an increase in the intensity of operations. According to U.S. officials themselves, this carrier has destroyed over 800 Yemeni targets. Beyond these costs, the mental and physical strain on the sailors and commanders of these carriers is extremely concerning. They have been in operations for a long time, are in constant danger, and the work is incredibly demanding. The U.S. carrier commander, Mr. David Rowe, name as heard transcribed, has stated that all 3 work shifts on the carrier are engaged with Yemeni missiles, and we don't get a moment's rest. For example, he mentioned that in just one day, using several F-18 aircraft and several destroyers, they destroyed 18 drones, 2 anti-ship cruise missiles, and several anti-ship ballistic missiles, and that was in just one day. It's said the operational tempo on this carrier is so high that all fighter jets are either flying or undergoing maintenance. Currently, the United States Navy is experiencing its longest period of sustained combat since World War II. This is because the Yemenis continue to fire missiles and drones. The Red Sea has become a battlefield, and the work is extremely challenging. No one is here for a walk in the park. It's a matter of life and death. In any case, the American F-18 weren't shot down by missiles in these Truman incidents. Rather, the carrier lost this valuable jet, be it unfortunate or fortunate, depending on your viewpoint, while evading missiles. Well, I'd be glad to hear your thoughts on this video's topic, so please leave a comment. Thanks for always staying with us until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Your likes give us a great boost of energy.